Hello, it's me again. So I'm talking about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. Um, and I'm gonna start with Kalani and Aswelu. So they recap from last week when he cursed her out like a dog. Then he left her and her mom and went wherever on some bus in some state he didn't know where he was. And they're like, I'm saying, where you going? Because you barely speak English, you don't know that state, and you just on a bus somewhere with a suitcase. So they come back to it, and they're at the house in the morning, and having breakfast, and the father and the sister come because they weren't there when he talked to her like that, called her a lying bitch, and your voice is fucking annoying. And the father was like, "Where's Asuelu?" And they all look like, "Uh oh, here we go." So she goes, the mother said, "Did he come back yet to Kalani?" And she's like, "Yeah." So Kalani goes to her little confessional and she's just like, "Yeah, um, he left because we had a heated argument." And they gave him a brief breakdown, but not the full cursing out and everything like that. And the father's getting pissed and he's looking like, "What?" So Kalani's like, "Yeah, he left last night and then he texted me, or I texted him, and he sent me three false locations to pick him up. First of all, I ain't picking your ass up. You left. You didn't know where you was going. Don't text me, and then you gonna text me three fake locations? You crazy?" So I'm gonna just drive around. So I guess the final location after she was like, "I'm not doing this no more. I'm not picking you up." He gave her the real location. I feel like he's homesick. I feel like he can't go home now because the whole measles outbreak, and he doesn't know how to communicate in English versus Samoan language. And I think he needs to say that to her so she can kind of not feel sorry, not feel bad, but let him get his frustration out. And maybe, I don't know if she understands it, but for sure the father does. So maybe she can say, "Hey, talk to my dad so my dad can maybe help navigate whatever's happening to you or internally because it's not right." He needs to, and I know it's easier to say it in your language than it is English, especially if it's your second language and the father is just not here for it. So they're like, "Dad, don't cause a scene. Promise you won't, act out." And the father's like, like we know his father don't play that, but his daughters. So the father's like, "I want to talk to him," and then they go to the birthday party. He's still not coming out the room, and she's like, "Take a break," and he's like, "No." And then the father, during the party, he's still not coming out, and Kalani keeps going, "And then you coming out?" He's like, "No, leave me alone." He finally comes out, and the father goes in, and he's like, put your pride aside. It's your son's birthday. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't ruin it for him. And then he talks to him in the house, and he's just like, "Put your pride aside. Just come out for your son." And he said, in Samoan, we talk with our hands, not with our words, and that's what he wants to do to Asuelu. But I think some kind of way they need to like get him to talk in his language is what I'm gonna say finally about that. So they're outside and everybody's like looking all weird because they're like, "Where you been this whole damn day for the party?" And he comes outside and he's like, "What?" Like, and I think he just doesn't know how to speak the language. And I think it's just he doesn't know how to express himself. And he comes and stands next to Kalani and hugs her. And she's like, "You ain't talked to me all weekend." But, they suck it up and move on. And he doesn't want to help clean up. He goes back in the room. And it's just awkward, very, very awkward. Um, so Debbie and Colt, they get to Brazil to see Jess. Debbie, Colt is good and grown. I need you to stop. Just stop. Because you are making this man. No, it's too late. Colt was already a mama's boy. I have a boy, so I'm not going to say I don't baby my son sometime. But at that age, I'm not traveling with you to see your girlfriend. They get to Brazil. Debbie's have been out of Vegas, so she's tired and she's almost 70 years old. I didn't know she was that old. And she's just like, I want to go to a hotel and lie down. I don't feel so good. Colt and Colt and Jess are like kissing in the car and like keep petting it. She's like, oh God, really? They get to the hotel room. It is a 2-bedroom hotel. Why would you not get your mother her own room? Ain't she grown? She almost 70. She said that already. And Jess is like, no, come and see Brazil. And she's trying to like push her. She's like, if I don't get 5 minutes, I'm going to be in the hospital. Get the fuck out. Like, Deb is that with shits. And then Angela, they show Angela having a hard time going over to see Michael because her mom is really deathly sick, like ill. And I don't know when her mom dies in comparison to when she goes over there last, but her mom passes away. Rest in peace to Deb's mom. And condolences to the family. But she just, I'm not on drugs, y'all. My allergies are terrible. Sorry. She's just like, okay, mom, I'll leave. And she's like, okay, bye. And then she's like, you want to come with me to Nigeria? And the mom is, trying to tell her, yeah, I'm fine. Like, go. I have people here. And she just has a really hard time leaving because she knows her mom is that sick. So it's sweet and it's sad at the same time. And she gets over there and they get an apartment while Angela's over there so they can see how life is like when they're living together. The apartment looks like hell. Looks like hell. No. Sorry. The apartment is nice, but when they go inside to see, what it looks like, the bedroom is nice, and Angela complains, I got a bad back. I can't sleep here. And then she sees a dead rat. It wasn't a mouse. It was a dead rat on a trap in the kitchen. And Michael picks it up, and he goes chase her after. It was cute, but don't play with me with no animal. So she said we have to get a new bed, or Michael can get no sex. I don't want to hear that because y'all, that's just oof. Elizabeth and Andre. Again, y'all married these people. Y'all knew who they was. They showed you who they was. This wasn't a new person when y'all first got with them. This wasn't a new person when y'all saw them second time. This wasn't a new person the third time. This is the same person it has always been. And when they act like they don't know who this person is, when they say certain things, it's stupid. You look stupid. Like I've been married 20 years this year. We've been together 22 years. I know what comes out of his mouth. I know when he says crazy stuff, and who he is the same person he been when I met him day one. So come on, people just don't magically change out of nowhere. So Elizabeth and Andre are over there, and they wake up in the morning, and Elizabeth is in the kitchen trying to help his mother cook. The mother speaking a language. In my mind, Elizabeth can speak some of it because she's cooking and whatever she's mashing up in this little bowl. And the mother yells to Andre, like, hey, can you come and help? And he's like, no, just talk to her. How can she just talk to her if she don't know the language or all of it enough to help her with this? But move on, because he's just an ass. So then they go to the kitchen table and they have a nice spread. Like it is like fresh cut Swiss cheese, it's grapes, it's avocado, it's just pastries, it's a lot of coffee, it's a lot of stuff on the table for a regular breakfast. Because in America, you already know, when I have guests that come to my house, bacon and eggs, sausage and eggs, pancakes, basic. We ain't doing no that's a lot. But other countries, other processes. So they get to the table and she asks him to ask her, do you do this every day? And he's like, answer for her. He says it to her, to the mother, and then he answers before the mother can even answer. And she's like, yeah, but for guests, we make it more special. It's just something that we do. So he's like, yeah, Moldovan women, they cook, they clean, they do this and do that. I'm like, boy, did anybody ask you all that? And then she gets pissy and she's just like, she goes, he basically tells her she's lazy and how Moldovan women are more energized than American women. And she's like, oh, is that why you don't have a job? Get him. Because he don't work, he's a house husband. But you act like you do so much. And he's like, you don't want to insult me in front of my parents. You're lucky they don't speak the language. Or what? What you gonna do if they understand? I'm telling the truth. And then he says, in America, you listen single. In Moldova, you listen double. And then she goes to the confessional. I don't know what this male chauvinistic alpha male is that he's trying to portray. Girl, he been doing that. Since y'all appeared on the show, he been acting like that. Why you acting like that's brand new? Why you acting like it's something different? He is who he has always been. And it's stupid. He's stupid. Then they go meet with their friends, and then they're talking, and then the friends are like, Andre's become lazy. Andre is like, we don't know who he is. I don't know. This is America has changed him, and she finds out that that's how all the Moldovan women deal with their men. That's how they all are. Anyway, then we got Karini and Paul. I'm gonna call her Corinne, because now I got the baby calling Pierre. Really? Is it Pierre or is it Pierre? So they still at a hotel, and he says, my mom only paid for the hotel for 3 days. Where your money at? Where you gonna stay after that? She goes to the parents' house, and to show her the car. The car is horrible. It's disgusting. It's dirty. It's disgusting. It's hot outside. They got the baby out there, and she's like, Paul's hot. I want to go to the bathroom. He can't even get in the house because the mother took the key off his ring. Then they go to the grocery store, and she's just like, oh, this ain't new. Like, you showed me something like a big grocery store. Who cares? Then he's trying to tell her how to change the baby, and she's just like, stop, just stop. And he keeps going and going. Then they were supposed to go to dinner with the mother. The mother was like, why am I, like, where's Karini and the baby? Oh, she didn't come. We got into an argument. She goes, well, if she wasn't here, I wouldn't have came either. Bloop. That says a word. That says a word. And then he goes and begging her for money. Mama, we need help. And the mom is like, no. When are you going to be a man, have some pride? Do what you got to do for your family. You jumped into this, and you didn't, you shouldn't have. And then he keeps saying, well, it's for the baby, it's for the baby. And she's like, don't play on the baby with me. But the answer is still no, basically. So we're going to see what's going to happen. Because Paul is just a loser. But we already knew that, right? That's my little wrap up. And we're going to see what happens. Talk with y'all later. Bye.